Welcome back to the channel, people. It's your boy Ducato, and yes, I'm doing another video inside my car as I make my way to work. There's a lot to get into. There's a lot to unpack. Not just the untimely draw we had with Bournemouth, but even the Man City Arsenal Carabao Cup final result. There's a lot, man. Chelsea losing, Liverpool losing, Villa winning. So, there's a lot of talking points today. But before we get into all of that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, you turn on your notifications, and you drop a comment after the video down below to let me know your thoughts. So, just getting just getting things out the way, we were robbed. After looking back, watching every single review angle of the Ahmad no penalty call, listening to pundits, analysts, players, ex-players speak, it is really clear and it's really evident. We were robbed. The Maguire penalty on Evan Nielsen is a penalty. Evan Nielsen's behind, one lapse error, and then here we are. My issue is that it's the consistency of which the Premier League chooses when and when not to give penalty calls. Ahmad is clearly pushed off the ball. Rival fans want to say, oh, Ahmad got big boyed, he's too small, XYZ. It's nothing about that. What it's about is having your whole body contorted when you're about to let off a shot in the penalty zone and you're pushed onto the ball. Like, if you've seen the way he fell, it's not an exaggerated fall. When Evan Nielsen gets hit by Maguire, it's so exaggerated. He is falling before the contact is even there. And the dumbass referee is just standing there scratching his head like, I'm not giving Ahmad or Man United the penalty call because I already gave them a penalty call on Cunha. So if I give them a second one, it's going to look rigged. It's going to look like I'm not being fair. And of course, they don't give the call. So I was just like, what are we doing here? Now, we still had chances to win the game, but when you're given a double jeopardy like that, it's just tough to win the game. And I appreciated us not losing the game, because under the old, regime, the old mentality, our old bottle, we would have folded. We would have lost that game. We would have blamed the point fingers at other people and other stuff. But to get out of there with a draw, in hindsight of the fact that Chelsea lost, Liverpool lost, so it bodes well that we actually gained a point this week on those teams, making our, chance for Champions League that much greater, that much better. We don't have Maguire going into our next game, even though our next game is not till, April 13th, some crazy like that. We have 2 weeks after for the international, plus this FA Cup and stuff after, which we know we're not a part of. So yeah, we don't play for a while. So it was upsetting to know that was the outcome heading into the international break when we had a comfortable 2-1 lead. I felt all we had to do was just see it out. But Bournemouth are a tricky team. Krupi is a nice young 19-year-old stud they have. They have guys that are willing to fight and willing to battle. So I give them credit and respect for getting that draw. But we should at least had a second penalty. And who knows what would have happened. Goals change games. Even their goal that they scored came off the back of the Ahmad no call, right? So, as we always say, goals change games, and unfortunately it didn't go in our favor. I have my speculations, but it is what it is. They want to make the top 4, top 5 fight that much greater, that much into it. So you got to respect it. you gotta, hold your tongue and allow these things to play out. At the end, the best result was the fact that Liverpool and Chelsea both lost. Like Liverpool losing 2-1 to Brighton, Chelsea getting spanked 3-0 to Everton. Those were results I didn't see coming. Well, the Liverpool one I did, because I just don't believe in that team to be a threat this season. But Chelsea getting spanked 3-0 by Everton, I did not expect nor see that. So for that to happen, I'm forever grateful, because it keeps our Champions League. We extend our lead to 6 and 7 points over those two teams respectively. So I'm happy. Aston Villa beating West Ham 2-0 leaves them 1 point behind us. So third place is still not, saved. Like Villa's still right there. You know what I mean? We have to get back to our winning ways, and we'll see what happens over the course of the 2 weeks. But when we draw, there is no man of the match. There's none of that. I felt maybe one player could have got a 7, a player rating of 7, but everyone else was just poor. Like Sene Laman's, the goal that he let in was just poor. Like the first goal, I'm just like, he takes too long to go down left and to his right. So I don't know, man. I'm still the verdict and the jury's still out on him. He has provided a better sense of calm in the net, but there's still some goals that we concede that I'm just like, I'm not happy about. And that was one of those goals, especially on the first one. The penalty, it's a penalty. It is what it is. But that first goal that we let in, I'm just like, I didn't think we should have let that goal in. But that's me. Our defensive line, no, it was poor. Our midfield, we weren't really doing anything, poor. Our attacking, Cunha got a goal. Bruno should have scored. And Buemo's not drilling like he used to drill. So I don't know, man. It's tough, man. It's getting peak. Yes, we're almost there, but it's just like the revamp that this team needs in all departments to get back to that standing is actually it's tough, man. It's tough. We need a whole new midfield. I need new attackers as well, just to help Cunha and Mbuemo and Šeško. Like, we have to replace a lot of our attacking, our defense. It's tough, man. And I'm not saying Carrick's not doing a great job, because he is. He's managing what he's able to manage. It's just when you're looking at it, talking about, okay, for next season, for next year, like we need another great window, man. We need another productive window. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We need another productive window. So, if Ineos is able to pull that off, and like I said, we actually go out there and get a Luis Enrique type coach. Like, we need a coach that has done it on all fronts, all levels. You know what I mean? That's what we need. Like, from defense to offense, offense into defense, in possession, out of possession, doesn't matter. Like, we're locked. And so again, we need to solidify Champions League. The last time we solidified Champions League under Ten Hag had, to me, one of the worst windows. Let me repeat, we had one of the worst windows for a Champions League side, bringing in an injury-prone Mason Mount. The only players that I thought were good from that was a Mazraoui and the Ligt, but De Ligt's looking to be injury prone now, so I'm not sure what's going on with him. Mazraoui, for the price point that we paid on Mazraoui, that's always great business. Let's just call it for what that is for 5 seconds. Getting Mazraoui for that price point is always good business. Same with De Ligt. But if you're injury prone like this, it's tough. And that's the next thing. Like, I know we can't predict when players get hurt, but we need players that are going to be available. Like, we need availability over anything, over everything. Availability. Like, to me, like, I'm tired of seeing us get players and then they're hurt. Like the Mounts, De Ligt now, Martinez. Like, it's tough, man. You want your troops there to give us the best chance at winning every game. And I understand injuries do happen, but it's just like, I would hope to see that we can have our troops there, right? But that's that for for our game. That's just my my ultimate thoughts. We should have won that game against Bournemouth. We didn't. We drew. Because of the circumstances and because of what happened in the other games, I'm ultimately happy with the point. It still moves us forward. There's 7 games left. I think we need 4 games to solidify Champions League. 4 wins, I believe. Because it was 6. We had beaten Villa to make it 5. And then with us drawing, but then Liverpool and Chelsea losing, I think it brings it down to 4 games. I believe so. So it's just 4 games to go. 4 games to save the world. Then we're back in champs. But, just quickly talking about Man City and Arsenal, I think football was saved yesterday with Man City winning. As much as it pains me to say, being a United fan, I think football was saved, with Man City winning. Man City was a better team. Like, I will say the first 20-25 minutes were all Arsenal. I thought Arsenal were more dominant. They had the chance to score with the Havertz, Saka double missed chances. But City grew into that game. They grew into that game to the point where second half, Pep Linders, people are gonna want to credit Pep with that, but I think it's Linders who made that second half masterclass defensive, realignment with just having 4 players there blocking all lanes, 3 right behind them, and not pressing the goalkeeper, not pressing the attack, but forcing Arsenal to actually have to do something. We're blocking all passing lanes, so it's not like you can pass your way out of it. No, you need to have, press resistant players that can drive and push the ball forward. Declan's not that. Zubi's not that under extreme pressure. People don't want to say it, but as much as I don't like Martin Odegaard, or as I like to call him, Martin No Shoulder Guard, their team actually looks weaker without him because of the intangibles that he brings. So my thing is it's one of those things that is just like, does it suck? Not really, because I'm not a fan of those teams, but it was what soccer needed. The better team won. City dominated Arsenal. Arsenal reverted back into their shell of 10 men behind the ball. And I'm talking about there's no red cards and stuff for y'all to even play behind the ball. They did not come out of their shape. It was an extremely poor performance. Arsenal looked tired. They looked dead-legged. they just didn't look like they wanted it. Whereas City was just vibrant on the ball. They weren't letting Arsenal out of their own half, let alone out of their own 6-yard box. Like they were trapped, they were pinned in. It was something I had never seen from an Arsenal team before, where even just the goals they conceded, 2 goals within 5 minutes of each other. Like, when's the last time you seen Arsenal do something like that? Like, this loss in a cup comp is really damaging because, Arteta hadn't been defeated in a cup comp ever in his managerial career, and you insert a Pep Guardiola that many believe is going to retire after this. So, just the mindset of Arsenal being able to take the mantle, take the trophy and really say and cement it as, no, it's our turn, it's our time. City were the ones that said, no, it's not your turn yet. Like, you're not the champions. We will fight until the end. And it's going to make it a really hot, business end. The last 7 games, like, Arsenal, you have to show your mettle. We were hearing talks from Arsenal fans about a quadruple. Okay. Like, make sure y'all win a trophy. You can't go from not winning trophies to all of a sudden winning 4. That's blasphemous, man. That is blasphemous. So, with all due respect, like, soccer won, football won. We needed this result to happen, and boy, did it happen. Like, it needed to have been done. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, this result, especially because City were the better team. Like, if Arsenal were the better team, I would say the same thing. Arsenal should have got it done, and Arsenal should have won. But no, City were the better team after minute 25 onwards. Like, the whole time, like, City dominated. So I give credit and respect where it's due. Like, City dominated, and the rest is history. Now, what does this look like going forward? Now, in my internal group, I have this thing called Theory Talk, and Theory Talk states that, especially when a team is playing that same team in cup competitions, the loser of that cup competition usually doesn't lose the Prem game leading up to the next time that they play. So what does that mean? City and Arsenal are to play at the Etihad April 19th, which is, I believe, the second game after international break. With that being said, with City winning the Carabao Cup, Theory Talk would imply that Arsenal would beat City at the Etihad, which is a possibility. But can we say that 100% after what we saw, after the defensive, after the tacticals that were displayed, defensive realignments that was done? Can we confidently say that Arsenal can do it? I don't know. And because we can't say that, does my Theory Talk become jeopardized? Like, Theory Talk has been exploited and exposed, but at the same token, Theory Talk held. For example, Liverpool faced Wolverhampton. They lost the Premier League game, ended up winning that FA Cup game. So Theory Talk can hold, right? Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that there's a chance that, City does the double. Well, not really double, but, like, you know what I mean? Winning the Carabao Cup and then beating Arsenal again. And if that happens, it's going to be a very testly end to the business. And Arsenal still has Champions League to get in. City doesn't now. So there's more games Arsenal has to play compared to City. So it might make that last 7 games hot, But that's all I wanted to say on that matter. Football was saved. United got robbed. What's it's tough, man, but we're still in third place. We still have our destiny in our hands. It is an international break, so over the next 2 weeks we'll do a couple different commentaries just talking about, you know, what's left to be done, what can we do, maybe managerial updates from key analysts talking about our players and who we're targeting in the summer. A lot of that, but at the end of the day, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and tap in with your boy. Let me know. I gave y'all a 20-minute drummer today, man. That's to let you know how much how much this stuff was building up. You know, I had to go off and ramble on for about 20 odd minutes. So if you're at this point, of the video, I appreciate y'all. I wish y'all the best. Have an amazing week. Have a positive, beautiful, loving week. Love yourself. Love on others that love on you. And just continue to just, project positivity. Project positivity. Love you guys. Hold it down. It's your boy, Ducato.